Take two.
I'm Ashlyn.
And I'm Jacob.
Today we are interviewing Micah, and this is the podcast of the Pear Garden. Like butter. Thank you for being here today, Micah.
Of course, yeah.
So, start off with an easy one. What are you currently studying here at CSUSB?
Technically, I'm studying physics, but I have more non-physics courses than physics courses right now, so I guess physics, technically.
With like an asterisk.
Yeah. Back home, I'm studying physics, but here I have the freedom to take everything, so I'm taking 2 theater things and a chem gen ed.
All right, so you mentioned back home, so tell us a little bit more about your experience as a foreign exchange student here.
Oh, yeah. I'm a foreign exchange student. I'm doing a semester abroad right here at CSUSB. There's just so much. What should I start with? Culture shock?
Culture shock?
Oh my god, what culture shock? There's... I feel like the most important culture shock is things look like the movies in a very weird way. Because living in Germany, you see American movies and you have to decide, is this a movie thing or is this an America thing? Yellow school buses. Movie or America? America. Jocks shoving people in lockers. Okay, that's a movie thing. But it's like that with everything. You have to figure out, is that a movie thing? Is that an America thing? And yeah, you've got some surprises.
Yeah, that's really funny. I've heard people outside the U.S. comment on not knowing that red Solo cups were a legit thing we use, being that they're a movie prop. So that reminds me of that.
Yeah, and by now we've started using them because we saw them in movies.
It's a cultural exchange.
Yeah, it's a cultural exchange, and you want to do it like the movies do.
Well, that's really interesting. What about in terms of education, like schooling back in Germany versus schooling here?
The biggest difference is that you have like this seamless transition from high school to college. Like, I don't know how you call it. I've listened and I forgot. Because you can take like college courses in high school that you can... AP courses, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. You can take AP courses and then you have credits for college. And in college you have Gen Ed, which feels like high school in a bit. And I feel like there's a bigger distinction between high school and college in Germany, because you only do your major, you don't do Gen Ed, so you just switch, and it's a hard switch.
So before coming here, what was your experience with theater?
Started in middle school, because I actually wanted to do film, but we don't do very much film in Germany, so there was only a theater club, so I joined a theater club and fell in love with doing theater, and by the second year I was preferring theater to doing film. And so I did the theater club up until graduation in high school. And yeah, it was not that professional, but it was fun. So in college I decided to look for a theater club, and we don't really do clubs. So I ended up with an arts collective kind of thing, where just a bunch of people got together and wanted to do theater. So we did theater. And yeah, that has been my experience so far. We've done 2 shows and are definitely more professional than we used to be in high school. And now I'm here, which is definitely more professional than my arts collective back home.
It's really interesting to hear about your arts collective back home. Can you elaborate on that a bit more? Like, what exactly goes into making these shows in a more non-professional way, as you say?
Everything. You need a place to play the show at. You need the actors. I mean, the actors are there, but then you need a tech guy. Then you need to sell tickets. You need to advertise. You need to get the costumes and the stage and all that. Like the month before we do a show, it's always do you have a chair that looks like a French restaurant chair? Do you have one? Could you please bring it? No? Okay. Damn. And do you have a blazer? No.
You're okay. You're totally
we
okay.
don't have a blazer. And then you kind of look around who has what. And yeah, it's very much people have clothing back home and share it around. And then we make do with what we have. and then we have to get our makeup, figure out ourselves. We don't have a crew that helps us with stuff like that. So yeah, we all learn to do everything a bit. Everyone is a bit of a tech guy, everyone is a bit of a director, everyone is a bit of a makeup artist. And everyone is doing costumes. And set. Yeah.
That's really interesting. How did the experience here compare to that back at home?
It's like going from a 3-star hotel to a 5-star hotel. For some reason, there's just someone doing it for you. There's like someone doing the set, and you're like, oh damn, someone is doing the set. I don't have to do that. Someone is doing the costumes. It is not your problem to figure out how your character looks. Someone is doing that for you. It's someone is washing the costumes for you. That used to be my problem. Now it's not. I feel like the most important experience is there's someone doing it for you now, and taking up a job that you did back home.
Do you feel that that gives you more opportunity to actually focus on your acting skills and to do the rehearsal? And now that you no longer have all of these other things that you have to worry about, and you can just focus on yourself and your performance, do you think that helps at all?
I'd say I'm definitely more of an actor here. I feel more focused on my role as an actor, but also it just frees up so much time. I could invest that to be a better actor, or I could invest that to doing things outside of doing a show. As I said, I'm a physics major. I love theater, but it's not the only thing in my life going on right now. So having people around definitely helps with that problem. Yeah.
Well, since you mentioned it, that you have other things out in your life going on, let's talk about that. What are your hobbies and interests outside of your major in theater?
Back home, I used to play handball, and I've learned from conversations that I had with people here that means something different here than back home. I wanna educate y'all.
Okay.
Handball here is what you play in PE when your teacher does not want to do anything.
Yes.
Handball back home is more like soccer, but instead of kicking the ball, you throw it. So you have 2 goals, you have a goalkeeper in each, and two teams trying to get the ball into the other goal. And it's a bit more violent than soccer. It's definitely faster than soccer. And in my obviously non-biased opinion, it's better than soccer. So, yeah, let's check it out if you wanna. I can't recommend teams, but check it out.
That's really I've never heard of handball outside of what you said, just the lame PE game we have to play. But suck it, soccer. You said it's better.
I have to defend soccer here. No, still European. Soccer is still good. Handball's better, then is soccer, then a long stretch of nothing, maybe what you call football.
Okay. You know what? I'll take that as a solid fact. I'll accept that. That's that's canon now. So.
I'd even say I like football a bit more than basketball, comparing now American sports to each other. Because, I don't know.
Where does baseball rank?
Lowest.
Lowest. I see.
Sorry, Dodgers. But I feel like baseball is very much nothing happens and then something happens. So you have 3 hours for 20 seconds of enjoyment. I don't know. It's not as compact in like enjoyment per minute, you know? Then basketball is nice, but also very, I don't want to say non-violent, but let's say football is more violent.
I'm seeing a bit of a trend here.
It's fun. It's fun. Yeah.
No, that's cool.
I want to have a sport where I can tackle someone. It's a fun thing to do in sports.
I appreciate your commitment to that ranking system. I think that's good. You know what you like in a sport, and you're sticking to it. I'm like, if I get to tackle somebody, then the sport is great.
Tackle and throwing. That would make handball great. I mean, you can't tackle someone, but you can push, and that will make football great.
I saw in your bio out in the lobby that you've done Rhinoceros before.
Yeah. Back in high school, graduation year, we did play Rhinoceros, and it's actually funny. It's one of these plays that kind of follows me, because in the second year I did theater, me and a good friend from theater back then, we had to play a scene for some sort of, I don't know, rehearsal, something, improvisation thing, and we had to play the transformation of Jean Berenger, and we played that in 7th grade with textbooks in hand in German. It was fun, and apparently we're good enough that for our graduation, our teacher came up to us and was like, "You remember how you absolutely killed that scene 6 years ago? How about we do it again?" And then she decided we do Rhinoceros as kind of a callback for our graduation, which was super cute. And I thought that was the full arc of the play. And now, 2 years later, it's coming back, and I play it again. And I seriously bet, that in 2 or 3 years, I will end up on some stage playing it again.
So you did the Jean and Berenger scene. What character did you play?
I played Jean.
You played Jean.
Back then, and then in the graduation again.
And now you're the cafe proprietor.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe you'll be like Berenger next time or something.
Maybe. But I think I've grown accustomed to Jean. I like that. I like playing Jean. I like playing the transformation scene. I, of course, like the cafe proprietor as well. Of course. Fun character to play. But playing Jean, I don't know. I don't want to play Berenger anymore.
Really?
No, I want to be Jean.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Maybe Daisy, but mostly Jean. So, yeah.
That's cool that you've gotten to do that play so many times. It really does follow you.
It will follow me. I'll be in a nursing home doing that play.
So, have you seen a lot of plays in Germany?
Been to 1 or 2, maybe 3, with my old theater group, because with my high school theater people, because we were like, okay, we play theater, we need to watch theater. You can't only be on one side of the fourth wall. That just doesn't work. So we went and watched a few plays, and which was nice. It was always fun. I can't compare it to the US that good because I haven't been to a play here. I can talk about how it is in Germany though. In Germany, there's great funding for theaters and stuff like that. So most of the theaters are state funded and would operate at a loss if it were not for the state funding. And so they're definitely more like, imagine the opera. People go there in suits and people go there feeling fancy, and it's definitely more of an upper class kind of thing. And you definitely feel funny as a high schooler going there in a hoodie, and you're like, oh, okay. I'm apparently with those people now. This is who I'm with now. So it is also very fun and very good, I would say. But thank you for reminding me I need to go more often.
Yeah, good to see theater. You say that it's more of an upper class activity. Do tickets to theaters in Germany cost a lot?
That's the thing. They don't. I imagine. But, I mean, I don't know how tickets are here, but I think they're quite doable. It's just I don't know why it's an upper class thing. It's not the tickets, because they've got state funding. The tickets can be cheap, relatively cheap. I don't know why it's an upper class thing. Maybe it's because there's a certain type of rich people who want to feel sophisticated and to have the extra time to spend. And yeah, that's why it's that kind of thing.
Do you think it might be a generational thing where it's where the younger audiences just are not going because it's not the cool thing to do, maybe?
Yeah, there's definitely a generational thing to it as well.
Yeah, because we experience that a lot here too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like generations are a pretty universal thing.
Yeah.
It's more of an older people thing who have the time to go. Retirees have gotten a lot of free time.
And disposable money, that kind of thing.
Some of our theaters get pretty expensive too. So those,
How expensive is theater here?
It depends. College theater like this, very cheap.
Yeah,
$15 tickets. Come see our plays.
In Germany, we sell them at €5 for hour. So
At schools or just in general?
For our arts collective, for €5.
Oh, that's nice.
And that covers all of the costs we have. So if you end up in Germany,
Does your art collective have a name?
Theater Lampenfieber, for those of you who speak German.
What does that translate to?
Something like stage fright.
Oh, I like that.
It's a run-of-the-mill name, I think. Someone came up with it while they were in the we try things out phase, and now it's stuck. But yeah, now it's just our name. We have to keep it.
Well, it works, right?
It works, yeah.
But yeah, theater in Germany and America are similar in that,
Yeah.
you know, the age discrepancy, and here their tickets are kind of wide variety. More professional theaters, like in Los Angeles and stuff, it could be like hundreds of dollars for tickets.
Okay, yeah.
Like big musicals, if you were to go to like the Pantages in Hollywood, that is hundreds of dollars.
You have Hollywood, so yeah,
Yes,
that doesn't
that's-
compare.
Exactly.
And you have Broadway as well, so.
Not to mention it's all for profit, not state funded.
Yeah.
So they kind of have to sell at a big amount of money.
Yeah, I'm definitely kind of sad because we don't have Broadway or Hollywood or something like that. So, I mean, here it's a thing that, okay, I'm gonna get auditions and maybe make it in Hollywood, which is 2 hours from here, 3 on a bad day, I heard. Yeah, you can just commute to Hollywood if you wanted to, but to make it big in Hollywood or to go to Broadway or something like that in Germany, it's just so much more difficult because we don't have much of a movie industry. And if you've ever seen a German movie, you may know why. They're not that audience friendly.
I see.
So, yeah. We don't have that big of a movie industry. We don't have a Hollywood. We don't have a Broadway. And I wish we had. I wish we had like this big acting scene that we could just go to where we could make it big. I don't know, yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine that maybe like the closest you'd have is like the West End, but that's in England.
That's-
So
Which actually brings me to another question that I have. As a member of the European Union, is it easier to move between different countries? Can you easily get, I mean, if you audition for it, could you get a job, say, in London, in the West End? Could you travel to France?
London is not EU anymore.
Oh,
True.
you're right.
Brexit happened.
My apologies. Yes,
Yeah.
you're right. You're right.
They left us.
They did.
Oh.
We won't talk about that, but you could
Yeah.
go to.
Still sad about it.
yes.
Yeah, definitely. Borders are not that much of a thing. You can just, it's like crossing state lines. Some of the laws change, some of the signage change, I imagine. I've never been to another state. The signs look different, the laws are different, the language is different. So, yeah. But, yeah, I think you can work in every other EU country if you are an EU citizen. I didn't think about that much before because I have not worked in France yet, but it's definitely easier to move abroad, to study abroad, to do everything abroad. You may have like to fill out 2 or 3 forms, so it's definitely easy to go inner EU abroad. Also, it's so much closer, everything. From where I live, Stuttgart, it's 5 hours till Paris, I checked. So you can do like a weekend trip there. And there are places at the border where if you take a wrong turn, whoops, you're in France now. The next roundabout is another country. Can't turn back before that. But yeah, it doesn't matter anyway, you're just crossing a river. So it's so much closer, everything. But that does not mean that it's that all the cultures are closer together. I feel like that's a common misconception that some people have, that, yeah, so Paris is 5 hours away, so the culture is like as different as Las Vegas is from here, which is also 5 hours away. It's just not. It's just still very different. 5 hours means something entirely different in Europe than it does in America. Like, you're one country, one European country stretched to the space of a continent. So you have an incredible idea of what it means to go 100 miles. Yeah, I can do that. You commute for an hour just to go to school. That is insane to me.
he does.
How? How do you do that?
Coffee.
Quite European of you. you have an insane understanding of how far away things are, and so it would shock you that if I drove 2 hours in Germany, the dialect has changed so much that the people in the countryside, I can't understand them anymore. All the languages are closer together, all the subcultures are closer together, and yeah, things are just older as well.
Yes, I can imagine.
Yeah, I've been here for 9 days and I've tried not to go into things that advertise themselves as historical so far, because if things are historical here, they're 200 years old, something like that,
Yeah.
maybe 300 years.
Yeah, there's entire buildings in Europe that are older than the United States, I imagine.
Oh yeah, we have a church 10 minutes by bike away from where I live that is older than the US.
I mean, literally Oxford.
Oh yeah, my school is older than the US.
Yeah.
It's also older than Protestant Catholic split.
Wow.
Things are just old. You just find a church from the 16th century. There are schools who are in like Renaissance castles.
I highly recommend anybody that is in the U.S. that if you've lived in the U.S. your entire life, get out of the country, go visit other countries. I've been to England, I've been to Scotland, I've been to Ireland, I've been to all of these different European cities, and just the difference in culture. How it's always crazy to me how things are ancient, but yet how the things we like are generally the same, right? We're also separated by oceans and stuff, but yet we're also similar as well. It's pretty impressive. It's pretty interesting.
What I found out is that coming here, there are a lot of things different. A lot of things are just, to me, weird. To you, Europe would be weird. But also, the difference between different friend groups and different like social circles is so much greater than the difference between countries, like the mean of countries. Like I'm around theater people and I'm around physics people, and those are two very different cultures. Yeah. And I feel like if you lived your entire life amongst theater people and then switched over to the physics people, you'd have as much of a culture shock as you would have going from America to Germany, maybe even more, not counting the language. So it's not that different. I mean, people are very different, but also in a way that you know. If you have two friend groups, they might be more different than Germany is from America, I think. And also, if you are going abroad, if you try to go abroad, don't be afraid about language barriers. If you are in the big cities, especially in Germany and the Nordics, they speak English. All the younger ones speak English. All the chronically online people speak English because the internet is in English. So everyone who looks like 6 hours of screen time at least will speak fluently. So yeah, the people in the city speak English, all of them, and the younger ones on the countryside as well. So if you think, I'd like to travel, but I don't know Italian, I don't know German or Swedish, they speak English. The more northern you are, the more English they speak, for some reason. If you maybe learn, hey, how are you in the local language? If someone came up to me and said, hey, how are you in German, and then started to speak English, oh my God, respect for the first sentence, I'm your friend now.
Aw.
So yeah, don't be afraid about that.
That's some good advice. And honestly, everything you just said was like so interesting. That's like really, some of your observations are so interesting. Because one, you talking about how like going 5 hours, it's like completely different. Like you can't understand the people, totally different. It's so funny to me because I do a 15-hour road trip to Oregon every year. And not much changes. I mean, we all speak English. It's like slightly different. Everyone there hunts more and stuff, but I still understand them. It's still the same country. It doesn't feel all that different. So to hear that for you going 5 hours is like, I don't even know what these people are saying. It's like kind of crazy to compare to that because that's, 15-hour road trip is pretty average for U.S. Americans.
You're like generally aware of like the way Germany looks?
Yeah.
It's like a rectangle. It's a bit taller than it's wide. It's like a bigger rectangle on top of a smaller rectangle. And the longest stretch from north to south is 11 hours long. You cannot do a 15-hour road trip in Germany without going in circles.
Yep, yeah.
If you do a 15-hour road trip, by definition, the people will speak another language.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, 15 hours. You can't even leave the country. If I start driving north right now, 15 hours, I will not leave the country.
I've
after
been
that amount of time.
Denmark.
Wow, that's.
To
See,
be fair, if
that's
you
how it
drive
is.
15 hours and head, east, you'll end up somewhere in Texas, and it's like a different language and a different culture.
Fair. Texas is pretty different.
But also, if you drive 3 hours west in Germany, you end up in Bavaria, which is the Texas of Germany.
I'm glad everywhere has a Texas. That's good.
Every country has a Texas.
Okay.
So how does the foreign exchange program at your school work, and how did you kind of
Yeah.
get here?
There is a bilateral exchange program between California, the California State University system, and my state back home called Baden-Württemberg. So California State University students from all the Cal states can go to a few schools in western southern Germany, in Baden-Württemberg, and they can go here. So I got to pick from all the Cal State campuses, that were okay with my GPA. I had to apply with you'll have to apply with your university GPA, not your high school GPA, which definitely is not as nice as I would like to have it. So yeah, you can go to Germany, and actually on Monday, there was a kind of event for international students where you could inform about Germany and the German campuses they're offering. So right now you can go online, search up, CSUSB Exchange Germany, something like that. And there will be a lot of campuses that are available to you that you can go to for a semester or a whole year. And you can absolutely do that. I definitely recommend doing that. I'm not biased on that or anything, but Western Southern Germany is very nice. You'd have to adjust to the weather though. But if you're okay with the weather, and right now we're having quite a rainy week. If you're okay with that, you're good. Expect a bit of rain, but there are a lot of beautiful places, a lot of beautiful forests and medieval old towns and stuff like that. If you're into forests, old towns, castles, stuff like that, and generally learning about Europe, try it, do it. I recommend going there. I'm not biased or anything.
That's interesting.
I'd recommend you go. You should definitely go.
Yeah.
All right, he's telling us we should definitely go.
Should
Well,
definitely go.
Jacob and I are stepping down from the board. We're going to head to Germany. No, that'd be great.
Next podcast episode filmed in Stuttgart.
Oh, yes. That's a little special episode in Stuttgart.
From now on, we're doing vlogs. And
Travel vlogs, yes! I would love that. That would be so amazing. But yeah, I really loved all the talk we've had about the cultural differences between the two. And even what you said earlier about, sorry, my mind just went back to this, about the physics versus theater students. I can relate to that. I'm not a theater major, I'm an art major. And even you'd think art and theater students would be a lot closer because they're both artsy, but they're
yeah,
they're
definitely.
very, very different. I think theater students are more outgoing and art students are more reserved.
Yeah.
And I kind of become two different people in the two departments.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I feel like art students are definitely more introverted creative, and theater people are extroverted creative. And yeah, I'm definitely one of the theater people.
But do you have to kind of alter the way you talk and act around the physics people?
It's definitely a different world. You do act different around physics people. How do I describe how it is? Because I'm doing it subconsciously. I'm just doing what everyone else does. So I'm trying to find the words how I'm actually doing it. It's definitely theater. I'll be saying theater culture and physics culture. Theater culture is definitely more silly than physics culture is. Like, we had a quick rehearsal yesterday, no, 2 days ago, where we ended up all on stage dancing for no reason while saying our lines. It was the silliest thing ever. We messed up our lines because we were distracted by that, but no, that's just how theater people are. And it's definitely more judgment-free zone where you can just act silly and do stupid faces. I mean, if you've been to a show, the backstage looks like this.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate, yes.
And those are definitely theater-specific things. And in physics spaces, you get a lot of like nerdy jokes. Once our professor back home described what a tensor is. A tensor is something that transforms like a tensor, which was not very helpful.
No, I could tell not.
We were going mad over that for the last half year and quoting that every opportunity we get. If we're like, what is an apple? An apple is that transforms like an apple. Or every time someone asks a question that you don't want to answer, but you just want to annoy, you just want to rage bait. Yeah. And everything gets like hyper-analyzed to the point of ridicule, which is super fun. Yeah. So you have two different kinds of humor, most definitely. It's also a theater thing that once there is a mirror, you turn to the mirror, make a silly face, and then adjust your hair and do something. Never give actors a mirror. It doesn't work. And with physics people, it's the same with like a chalkboard. If you have like a blackboard somewhere in the room, there will be a drawing on it or something, anything. But don't expect it to A, make sense, or B, not be about physics.
So does that silly theater culture you describe, is that kind of a universal thing? Yeah, it's like that in Germany as well?
Definitely.
That's good to hear.
Being a theater major is a universal thing. Same with physics. It's something about these subjects that just make you be a certain way. Because, yeah.
I think that's very true. And you kind of have to learn how to... The word is mush fake when you have the multiple things. You know, you're supposed to learn how to fit into these different discourses and groups. And that's kind of interesting to hear about.
Physics is the same everywhere, so are physicists. Same with theater. Although you have different traditions than we have.
Oh, really?
This entire houses open in 5, thank you 5 tradition that I've grown accustomed to now, that was a new one. The first time you did that, I was like, oh, okay, what is happening here? And a lot of the small theater traditions you have, I mean, saying break a leg instead of saying the other one, that's a universal thing. In Germany, we say Hals- und Beinbruch. No one wishes you good luck in theater.
Yeah, you're not supposed to say it.
In no country. But in Germany, we also copy a lot of like the French theater culture. In front of, before a show, you say like merde, 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 which I can't translate you right now because we're rated PG.
Oh, jeez. Okay, we're going to use our imaginations.
No, we're not. I want to hear it, and I can edit it out.
Okay.
Merde, merde, merde is equivalent to... I just love the imagination of them seeing that and be like, oh yeah, I now know what it is. It's beep, beep, beep.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Please do the like original beep. Yeah, anyway, that's what we do. And you have different superstitions and stuff like that.
But there's still superstitions in
Oh
Germany.
yeah, theater people for some reason are superstitious.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. Something about people being nervous to go on stage makes you superstitious. Because things just go wrong for no reason.
Stage manager right here, he knows.
Yeah. And you can't actually plan for them. You just end up there, I don't know, screaming up above or below. Like, why? So you want to have some kind of control over the situation, so you try to have like a rule. Okay, this happened because someone said good luck. That has to be direct connection. You want some cause for the things that happen. In theater, things just happen.
My first musical here that I was working on, I had somebody, my student assistant at the time, Emily, she had said, whatever you do, don't say the name of the Scottish play. And I'm like, the Scottish play? You mean, and I said it, and she goes, no, you said it. And then that night, anything that could have gone wrong went wrong. So I'm like, okay, lesson learned.
Yeah, it'll teach you real quick.
It will.
I still don't know what the actual name of the Scottish play is.
We'll talk about it outside.
Yeah,
outside
we have
of
to
the
leave
theater.
the building.
But I
We'll
have
look that up.
asked 5 different theater majors what it is, and they all refuse to tell me. So now I'm living in fear of accidentally saying it and ruining the show.
It's,
I think I have a loophole.
he is, just typing it not.
Yeah, typing is not saying.
Dude,
That's why
dude, you're the stage
We have
manager.
a
You really
show
want to go there?
tonight.
We have a show tonight. Do you really want to go there?
Now it will be fine. What's the worst that could happen?
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. Whoa, guys, the table. The table
The
is
table,
wood.
knock on it quick.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Sorry, dear audience.
This is it. Don't say it.
Say it.
Don't say it.
I
But
won't.
now you know,
Now
so
I
you
know.
don't say it.
Nobody said it.
I'm now kind of relieved because that was not something that I'll accidentally
Yeah,
say.
exactly. I had the exact same experience as you because I got into theater a bit later in high school, and
Yeah.
some people said, "Don't say the name of that play." I'd be like, they'd call it the M word, which they'd have to really emphasize the M so it didn't sound like something else. They'd be like, "Make sure you don't say the M word," and I'd be like, "What? Is it a word I might say by accident? Like, did I just say it right now?" And I said, "Might? Oh my gosh!" And they'd be like, "It's fine. It's a word you would never actually say." But I'm like, "But you never know. What if for some reason I'm discussing?" They're like, "It's the name of a play," and I'm like, "What if we're discussing plays?" Like,
And you're like, oh my, you know what I really like? The Scottish play. And
they're like, but a lot of
Yeah.
theaters have like a weird ritual to undo it if someone says it, because like you said, to kind of regain that control over the situation.
knocking on wood.
Yeah, like we just did right now. Yeah, I think that's a
And-
good observation.
And if there is no wood around, just knock on the head of the dumbest person in the room.
Yeah,
Glad you took that one.
That's
I was
good.
about to do that.
camera can't see it, but Scott just knocked on his own head.
Yeah. For the record, I was about to knock on my own head. Can't make
It's
mean
okay.
jokes and not
It's okay. Scott can handle it.
make it about yourself. Yeah. So, yeah, you definitely have those kind of rituals to undo that. I don't know. The casual superstition of physics people is so funny. And definitely a big contrast to physics people who are not that superstitious. Many of them are religious, I found out. Which, if I'm allowed to go on a tangent here, which I was explicitly allowed to.
I did tell him that.
Yeah, and I'm now gonna use that against you. I feel like in physics, you just try to figure out what's up with reality. What's that made of? Wood. Yeah, okay, but what's wood made out of? And at one point, you're deconstructing reality that much that you end up at like, okay, we're all kind of wavy particles doing stuff. And time is not real, not in the way that you think time is real. Things don't happen simultaneous. That's a lie. No, time is not real. Space is not real. You just start deconstructing so much that you end up with nothing. And if there is nothing, I feel like a lot of people are like, okay, I now need something to give me a place back in the world. Because I've deconstructed the world. There's nothing there. I hope there's something outside of the world that gives me hope back. So, like, that's the argument for people in physics to be religious. Because, yeah, you end up deconstructing the world too much.
Kind of comes back to what you said about the control and taking control over something you feel is out of your control.
And I feel like that's an interesting way, because the way that you don't have control in theater is things just happen and you want clear causalities. And in physics, you strip away the meaning, so you want to have other meaning put into it. So that's why some physicists turn religious and theater people superstitious, which I feel like is definitely two different things.
Yeah.
I feel like physics and philosophy seem to go hand in hand with one another the way you
Yeah.
explain it. It's very interesting.
I'm a big fan of physics philosophy.
Yeah.
If this wasn't a theater podcast, I'd be on
We
a
need the
big
physics
thing.
and philosophy clubs to start up podcasts for you to start on.
Perhaps, but I won't be there when they do.
Right.
Yeah, sadly.
Well, I'm glad we got to have you on this one then. Not that it's over yet, but
This was about to sound like an end. I was about to be sad.
no, you're okay. Is there anything else you'd like to share about your experiences, either within theater, as an exchange student, as physics, like anything at all? All three, one of them.
I could definitely. I mean, being an exchange student in physics, and oh my god, yeah, I've just done a semester abroad in physics. Yeah, no, being an exchange student in a play, there's definitely always that question you ask yourself: is how noticeable is my accent? How much is that of a problem for being on stage to have an accent? That's the thing you ask yourself, because California has an accent, definitely.
Yes.
And you keep skipping the T's.
Yeah.
And there's this line I have, which is, went past like a rocket. And I struggle with the word rocket so much in that line, because I shout it, it's a very pronounced line, and I'm missing a letter in the word rocket. And I don't know how I feel about saying rocket. I feel like I'm missing something there. I feel like I'm saying it wrong every time I say it. And I just don't know, should I lean more into the German accent saying rocket? Or should I lean more into the California accent, which is more wishy-washy, which is actually not what you want in a play? So yeah, I'm stuck between having bad English and being a bad theater major.
I could see how that'd be. Yeah, I could definitely see that being a struggle. Yeah, I've definitely heard plenty of people complain about how we say like water and not water.
Water, yeah, that's all right. But all right, not all right.
Yeah.
And I feel like all right is something that I say back home in Germany all the time as well, because the youth just mixes in English words. And I have before said all right. And now when I get back home, I will start saying all right, because you all influenced me.
Oops.
Damn it. And yeah, I'm definitely stuck with that California accent now. And the people back home will notice and be like, oh my god, he's such an exchange student right now. Yeah, the people back there talk like that, yeah. All right. Yeah, I will definitely be that annoying exchange student when I get back home. Sorry. But yeah, that's about the accent. Accent, not accent. You see, I'm totally immersed in the culture. And also there's this other line I have in the play, which is, oh my god, which one is it? It's, you have to accept these things, which for some reason, I always feel like I have the biggest accent in my life. I don't know why. Every time I say that line, I feel like I'm stumbling over my own words. I don't know. It's just the most difficult line in the play for me.
I feel like as a play that is set in France, that somebody having a German accent on stage isn't that far off of a thought, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it makes sense to me. And I have to say, honestly, your grasp of the English language and the way we speak, and the fact that you're cognizant of all of these different inflections that we put in certain words, it just speaks volumes to your ability to learn and adapt. And congratulations on that. It's like the first time I ever met you, I had no idea you were an exchange student.
Hell yeah.
It was just that, I took your photo for the poster out front, and I had no idea that you're an exchange student. I thought you were just a really quiet dude. So, I have to give you props, man. You are very impressive with your language. It's not a barrier at all, and
Thank you so much.
I think it's been wonderful on stage.
Yes,
So.
I think you're
you so much.
perfectly understandable on stage. I mean, you're talking about your concerns, and I'm like, I understood all of that though when I watched the play, so
Yeah.
I'm sure.
It's just all this thing that I notice that I struggle with every time I say it, for some reason. All the other lines are fine, but you have to accept these things. It's like this combination of T and the.
Yeah, you
We don't
kind of
have
go
the.
right from a T into a the. You go, accept
Yeah.
these.
And German doesn't have a the. We
I
only have a
see.
T. And that's why if you hear a German accent, you will hear them speak like this or like this. We either substitute an F, an S, or a T, which is like the closest things you could do. Or you just learn how to make a the sound. And that's why the standard German accent is like with a Z.
Right. How long have you studied English?
Technically since first grade in school, but I don't want to offend my English teacher, but that is not where I learned English. Learning English has been for me being on YouTube way too early, way too much, and just running out of German stuff to watch. And then you kind of end up on English YouTube because like there's 80 million Germans, a few Austrians and Swiss. So German-speaking YouTube is way smaller than English-speaking YouTube. So if you want to search for a very specific thing, you end up on English YouTube, one way or the other. And then you kind of had English education since a few years. You end up there, and one day I noticed, I was binge watching YouTube stuff for way too long, that I had switched to English videos like an hour ago, and I didn't notice. And I definitely remembered that because I was like, oh damn, I actually understand the language now. And that's why I'm also so much better in listening and reading English than I am speaking it. Because I did not have that much opportunity to speak English. I had so much opportunity to listen to it and to read it. So in reading, I don't notice the difference very much, going from English to German. In listening, I don't notice that very much. I put on, it doesn't matter that much. Speaking has been more difficult, but by now, I've been here since 90 days or something. It's definitely all right.
Yeah, you've done like a whole, it's been like an hour of recording a podcast, give or take, so, and you've been doing this whole thing in English. We would have let you know if you suddenly became German, we would have been like, oh, can't understand you.
That is such a difficulty, actually, because if you're like vibing with someone, talking with someone, and you're like, that person is all right. There is this instant if you feel comfortable enough to switch to German. I've definitely looked at people and were like, "It's done, yeah." And I was like, "Oh, damn, that was German for a second." So there's definitely this impulse if meet nice people to accidentally speak to them in German, which is, I guess, a compliment, but also annoying.
You're relaxing. You're not thinking as much.
It gets harder to speak English the more comfortable you are.
I see. Interesting. Yeah. It's an uncomfortable language. That's what it is.
I feel like German is the more uncomfortable language. I don't recommend any of you study it.
Okay, good to know.
If you ever felt like there was too few thes, if you ever hated the fact about English that you only have one the, and you didn't have to remember the gender of each noun, go ahead, study German. We have 3 genders per noun, and about 9 different variants of the you can pick from. So, don't stick with English.
So before we get to our very important final question, I just want to ask, have you been enjoying your time here in the States?
Definitely. I've done a lot of cool stuff. I've been to LA a couple of times. Nice city, awesome city. I know none of you would agree with that, based on the fact that every time I tell someone that, yeah, I like LA actually, the standard answer was like, no, I hate the traffic. Why do you like LA? It's so dirty. What's wrong with you? But that has been in general the question to me when I say I like this. No, LA is actually a cool city. If you're from Germany who does not have that much skyscrapers, you're like, oh my god, that's a big city. It's an impressive city. Also been to Joshua Tree, which is beautiful. We don't have national parks. I wish we had national parks. Those are so cool. Mm-hmm. We don't have deserts as well. This is my first time in the desert. Not much in it, but it's cool.
I imagine it's just generally warmer here, huh?
Yeah, so much warmer. Right now back home it's 30 degrees Fahrenheit, something like that.
Oh wow, that's cold. That's really cold.
At noon.
Oh.
Even less at night.
I think it's time then for our final question. So, Micah, would you survive the zombie apocalypse? Think carefully. Really think about it, Yeah,
I'm thinking about it. The thing is, which kind of zombies?
That's a good point.
That's a good point. I don't think anyone's ever asked us that.
Let's go with the Walking Dead type.
Okay.
The kinds that are just, they're slow, but they're always there. They're always around
Like,
every
you're more
corner.
likely to get overpowered by a horde than just one zombie.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'd make a kind of good run if I knew from the get-go it was a zombie and not just some strange-looking dude approaching me. So if I was careful from the beginning, I could make it. And then the objective is to stay in your house as long as possible. Because if they don't see you, and if you're like in the second floor, they don't notice you, you're good. The problem is, how do you get out of your house? To go to like any kind of, how to get food. I think like the grocery stores, they would bankrupt and fall within the first 24 hours, I imagine. So I imagine getting food would be the most difficult problem now. So I had to get food, I had to get water. That were the most important things. So it depends. I need to find like a place where there's fresh water, like a river,
Or somewhere where you can purify it. Like
or
with
somewhere where you
heat.
can free, or that, yeah. So depends on where I am. If I'm like in the middle of LA and I had to get out of the entire suburb and dino area before I get to a place where there's not that many people and zombies, I imagine I'd be not that good, not that well off. But if I were more like in a rural area, I can make it to like a freshwater. I could make it to like a mountain lake. Imagine like being in the Alps. If there's zombie apocalypse hit while I'm on vacation, going to like a mountain lake, that water is pure. I could stay there.
Also, would the zombies make it up the mountains anyways?
Definitely not.
How long would it take for them to get up there?
You definitely have to answer like, where am I during that?
I agree. Okay, here's one. We've asked this to a couple of our previous guests. What if you were here in this building?
In this building, okay. I mean, we are in the desert, close by. To find fresh water is definitely difficult here. So I need to make my way to someplace where they have water, because you need water to grow crops and all that, and not that many people. So I don't want to go through LA, I'd be there. So I had to go either high desert, but there's no water there. That'd be more difficult. I wouldn't know where to get water. I'm not that familiar with the area right now.
True.
So I'd be kind of lost, wandering, and then it's chance, maybe. Because if I was wandering around trying to look for water, then I come across a herd. I think I'd be okay with if I had like a machete hacking on some zombies, if they're slow and stuff like that. I could do that. 2 or 3, I could do that. Not if they're coming from behind. If I'm like cornered, that would be difficult. But depends on how readily available is water here. Would you know where to find a river, a lake?
Here we go. Like Big Bear is your best bet. Yeah. Just keep driving up the mountains over yonder.
I don't have a car, and that's the problem. And I don't know how to steal a car.
Yeah.
So I'd have to rely on the gratitude of others to drive me there. And question back, do you think in a zombie apocalypse setting the people would help each other, or everyone would be on their own?
I think it definitely depends on the person, but I think a lot of people, especially because of all the zombie movies and stuff we all have, I feel like people would immediately jump into, I have to become the zombie apocalypse guy, and it's every man for himself. So even if it's not in people's nature, I feel like people would kind of expect others to be like that, and they would get like that first. It's like beat them to the punch, maybe, but it's you can't know it for sure until it happens,
Yeah. I'm just imagining people would stick together. At least that's
would
my
like to think
I
that.
like that thought, but I honestly, in this day and age, I look at everybody as Negan, right? They're all going to be Negan from The Walking Dead. They're all going to be just...
Maybe if it's here, like literally it strikes as we're all in this building, like on a Friday, maybe we'd all
I'd
help
help
each
you.
other out.
I'd help you 3.
Yeah, I mean, we got cars.
Yeah.
So we can go up to Big Bear.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. We're good.
We're
Us
making
three
up.
will stick
And
together.
you know,
Make a
Matthew,
pact.
our chair Matthew, said he'll survive. He's pretty confident about it. Kathy, our professor, or retired professor Kathy, it's emeritus, right? Is that what it is?
Emeritus.
Emeritus, I almost had it. Professor Emeritus Kathy Irving said she was very confident she would survive. She immediately said, yes, I'm surviving. And, you know, Terry said he's fine being used as bait. So his words, not mine.
Terry's answers are always funny. A few days ago, I went around the department. I saw that amazing statistic. 8 in 10 men believe they could land a plane in case of emergency. 2 in 10 could actually do it. So there's 6 in 10 men who believe they could actually land a plane and who just can't. And then I went around the theater department asking people if they think they could. And the answers matched so good with the statistic.
That's so funny.
I'm 100% one of the 6 who believe they could. I mean, how hard could it be? The tower is helping you. They tell you the buttons are there.
I believe it
Push-
could be pretty hard.
I'm 100% one of the 6 who believe they could and would absolutely fail at it. 100%. But Terry had the answer. Terry said, yeah, I believe I could because I have already flown a plane and landed
okay.
them.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
Terry is the 2 who believe they could and actually could.
He's an interesting guy and has interesting stories for
Yeah.
sure. So when I heard he said that on the podcast, I was kind of like, oh, okay, I guess that's like the one thing he doesn't have experience in. He's just like, I'm just going to let the zombies take me, whatever.
I mean, in theory, you got to make sure the landing gear are down and the nose is up.
Yeah.
And you got to slow down
Oh,
appropriately.
okay, Jacob, what do you think?
And I'm sure I would kill everybody.
I have
in
to
the
ask all the men in
process.
the room now. Jacob, what do you think? Could you land a plane?
I think if I didn't overthink it too much, I could.
My God.
Yeah. You see?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, the tower's
I'm
helping you.
never getting in a plane with you people. Wow.
I mean, the tower is helping you. The tower is telling you, okay, now you're going a bit too fast. Please slow down a bit. I mean, you could do that.
Makes sense.
Could you? Yeah.
I think so.
1, 2, 3. We get 3 more to fill out the 6.
This statistic is 100% true. We would all kill everyone on that plane.
Wow, that's a really interesting statistic. Thank you for bringing that up.
Hopefully Terry's flying.
Yeah, oh jeez.
Oh yeah, if Terry's on the plane, I'll let Terry fly 100%.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Also, if I'm ever in another situation where big machines have to be controlled, I would just let Terry do it.
yeah, I think Terry can be trusted. Yeah.
I think so.
Terry's a trusted
Terry,
adult.
take the wheel.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's the adult.
Yeah, he's the adult in a group full of 20 and up year olds.
Yeah, well, he's like the adult, right? Like
Yeah,
double adult.
he's the chief adult.
chief adult, and we're like the baby adults.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean,
Adult
in this country, you don't
free
count as adult
trial.
before 21, or I mean,
No, 18 is when we're an adult, but 21 is when we can drink, so effectively 21.
effectively 21.
Jacob still can't drink. That's sad.
I still can't drink.
You can't drink.
I can't drink again. In Germany, beer is legal at 16.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I was legal at 16 for beer and wine, legal at 18 for hard liquor, illegal again after my plane landed, and will be legal again when I get back home, which is, I think, the weirdest progression of rights that a person can have.
Intriguing. Just another way the countries are very different.
Yeah.
Well,
Well.
is there anything else you want to say?
I don't know, is there any other question you want to ask?
No, I think that just about wraps up our podcast episode.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much for being here, Mika. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, of course, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I got to
Been my
talk
first
about some really
podcast.
cool stuff. And yeah, it was your first podcast.
Yeah.
We learned a lot about German culture. I feel like I'm so much more knowledgeable now.
Hell yeah.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, we're happy to have you. And this has been the podcast of the Pear Garden. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.